what it does in this game. It's used in many of the games. But let's see what its ability is in this game. Channels the party's remaining MP to crush surrounding foes. Minimum 3 MP with companions nearby. Cost all MP. Cost 1. I'll try to show that off. See if I have anything I can unequip. I don't, so maybe if I get AP later. So that's the Hades Cup. Okay, so we're gonna take a break from the fighting and take a look at the Ansem reports, which we... Oh, and by the way, here's Hades Cup over there. And one more thing, if we go outside over here, where you see a big old creepy picture of Hades, you'll now see Sora's first place, and originally you would be right there at Shadow Brothers. And yep, you've beaten all 50 rounds. I'm gonna go somewhere where I like the music better. And then we'll take a look at the Ansem reports, and then we'll go to the end of the world. Alright, so if you remember from the last episode, Ansem is... or Ansem took over Riku's body, so these are his like, diaries. You go to the journal, and you go to Ansem reports. Chronicles is now complete because you finished Olympus Coliseum. And that's the last entry. So Ansem reports, so there's 10 of them, so we're just going to read through them. I was thinking whether I was going to put... like read these or just leave them on the screen. I'll read them. Much of my life has been dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. That knowledge has guarded this world well. Not a soul doubts that. I am blessed with my people's smiles and respect, but though I am called a sage, there are things I do not understand. I believe darkness sleeps in every heart, no matter how pure. Given the chance, the smallest drop can spread and swallow the heart. I have witnessed it many times. Darkness, darkness of the heart. How is it born? How does it come to affect us so? As ruler of this world, I must find the answers. I must find them before the world is lost to those taken by the darkness. It is my duty to expose what this darkness really is. I shall conduct the following experiments. Extract the darkness from a person's heart, cultivate darkness in a pure heart, and both suppress and amplify the darkness within. The experiments cause the test subjects' hearts to collapse, including those of the most stalwart. How fragile our hearts are. My treatments produce no signs of recovery. I confined those who had completely lost their hearts beneath the castle. Sometime later, I went below and was greeted by the strangest sight. Creatures that seemed born of darkness. What are they? Are they truly sentient beings? Could they be the shadows of those who lost their hearts in my experiments? The shadows that crawl beneath the castle, are they the people who lost their hearts, or incarnations of darkness, or something entirely beyond imagination? All my knowledge has provided no answer. One thing I am sure of is that they are entirely devoid of emotion. Perhaps further study will unlock the mysteries of the heart. Fortunately, there is no shortage of test samples. They are multiplying underground even as I write this report. They still need a name. Those who lack hearts, I will call them the Heartless. The Heartless appear in groups and are multiplying rapidly. I've provided them both living and non-living samples. They've responded only to the living. They seem to multiply after absorbing something from the living creatures. Their prey then vanishes without a trace. I believe the Heartless are taking hearts. They are born from those who've lost their hearts and thrive on hearts seized from others. The hearts taken by the Heartless become heartless themselves. Though I lack proof, I am confident in this hypothesis. I must also study their behavioral principles. Though they lack emotions, they do seem to have some intelligence. How to communicate with them? It's just occurred to me. Could they be the darkness in people's hearts? Oops. To study heartless behavior, I picked one out for observation. It wiggled its antenna, I'm assuming this is the shadow, by the way, and as if sensing a target, headed deep into the castle. In the deepest part of the castle, its antenna began vibrating, as if searching for something. Suddenly, a strange door appeared. I'd never known of its existence. It had a large keyhole, but didn't seem to be locked, so I opened the door. What I saw on the other side mystified me. What was that powerful mass of energy? That night, I observed a great meteor shower in the sky. Could it be related to the door I have opened? A massive core of energy lay beyond the door sought by the Heartless. It may well be the ultimate goal of the Heartless. But what is that energy? I have devised a hypothesis based on my observations of the Heartless. The Heartless feed on others' hearts, and they yearn for that energy core. That thing beyond the door must be a heart too, the heart of this world. There is no proof, but having felt that immense energy, I am certain that was the heart of the world. The Heartless are trying to take hearts not only from all living creatures, but from the world itself. But what do they mean to do? with the heart of this world, of the worlds? I am now studying material from the meteors that rained down that fateful night. What a find! The material is foreign to our world. It is elastic to the touch, and when two pieces are combined, they bond easily. None of the records I've scoured even mention such a substance. It was introduced to this world when I opened that door? I wonder how many other such materials drift through the atmosphere of this tiny world. I wish I could soar off and find out. Could there be uncharted worlds out there? Up there? My curiosity never ceases to grow, but I should stop speaking of such unrealistic dreams. For now, there is no way to venture outside this world. My people and I are all but prisoners of this tiny place. So here's the one we just got. There is no doubt that the Heartless are deeply connected to people's hearts. Further study may unravel both their motivations and the mysteries shrouding the heart. As a start, I have built a device that artificially creates Heartless. By recreating the conditions that spawn the Heartless naturally, I should be able to produce them artificially. This device is the culmination of all my research thus far. The machine's test run successfully created a Heartless. This may be a step towards creating a heart from nothing. This artificially and naturally created Heartless showed nearly identical traits, but the two types should remain distinct for the purpose of this experiment, so I will mark the ones that are created artificially. Simply astonishing. Today I had a guest from another world. He is a king, and his vessel is built of the material that composed the meteors. He called the pieces gummy blocks. It seems that my opening that door has opened a path to interworld travel. We talked for countless hours, but one story in particular caught my interest, that of a key called the Keyblade. The Keyblade is said to hold phenomenal power. One legend says its wielder saved the world, while another says he wrought chaos and ruin upon it. I must know what this Keyblade is. A key opens doors. It must be connected to the door that I have opened. Just as people have hearts, so do worlds. The same can be said of the stars in the night sky, and deep within each world lies a door to its heart. The Heartless desire those hearts. Born out of the darkness in people's hearts, they seek a return to a greater heart. Yes, that's it. The Heartless come from people's heart, as does the darkness. Is the core of the world, of the world's heart, the world of the Heartless? I will pursue the answers there and become all-knowing. My path is set. I shall seek out the wielder of the Keyblade and the princesses. My body is too frail for such a journey, but I must do this. I will cast it off and plunge into the depths of darkness. So that's the Ansem reports. I won't go over all of it, but I'll just point out some things. So Ansem initially is this sage in his own little world, as he says here, and he's running experiments to find out what darkness is doing when people started stealing the light. Second one basically says that he starts running experiments to see what he can learn from the Heartless or about the Heartless, and categorizes his results. The shadows, let's see. This is an important part here. One thing I am sure of is that they're entirely devoid of emotion. We won't talk about this too much now, but when we get into 358 divided by 2, and there's a certain type of person, let's just say, it's important to note that they are entirely devoid of emotion as well. So he names them the Heartless himself, so it's possible that Ansem actually originally named the Heartless as the Heartless. And his statement that, as we've seen in the game, they're trying to take hearts from the world, I don't think I think what he's getting at is Kingdom Hearts, the idea of Kingdom Hearts, but he's not saying the words Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, and he wonders if they could be the darkness of people's hearts. This just explains that he's trying to find what they are seeking. Feed on each other's hearts. So yeah, he's saying the heart of each world must have or the central mass of each world must be a heart, and that's why the heartless attack. This one's important. I mean, they explain it in literally the next journal, but if you don't ever get 8, no, sorry, they explain it in 9, but when he says, "I am now studying material from the meteors that rained down that fateful night," he's talking about gummy pieces. He even says it in number 9. And that's why he says, "Oh, it allows inner space travel, blah, blah, blah." So then he wonders, are there other worlds? When he says, "I should stop speaking of unrealistic dreams," that is because before Heartless attack a world, kind of like how the plot set out in the beginning, there was no inner world travel because the Gummy Ship Pass hadn't been opened. And that's what he says in 10, the paths are open. Let's see. Then he creates a device that artificially creates Heartless. This won't come into play again until a later game, so I won't talk about that for now. Or maybe it's even later this game. So he starts creating them artificially, and he says, "I will mark them." That'll come into play later. When he says he met the king, he's talking about King Mickey. And yeah, at the point in time where Ansem is meeting with King Mickey, the Keyblade is a myth. Though that may be retconned information due to Birth by Sleep, but I don't know. And then he says, "A key opens doors." So yeah, he again says, "Hearts open worlds, heartless desire hearts, blah, blah, blah." Heartless come from both people's hearts, as does the darkness, so it's a subsidiary effect of the darkness. And the final part of "I will seek out the wielder of the Keyblade and the princesses." That part's weird, because how does he know about the princesses already? But okay. And then "My body is too frail for such a journey." He's right. I don't know if we meet Ansem in this game at all, but later games they'll show who Ansem, like true Ansem is. And I don't even want to start to get into that right now, because there's 17 different Ansems, basically. But he's basically an old, like, wizardy looking dude, so he can't fight. So that's why he says, "I'll cast this body off and find something else." And yeah, so that's the Ansem reports. So now we can